Hey guys, you should have already completed this study guide on your own. So you are watching this video just to check your answers. Hopefully you get everything right. And if you miss something, if you watch me solve the problems, hopefully it will make sense to you guys. All right, so look at number 1. So it asks us what is the measure of angle 6? So the relationship between angle 6 and this angle, that's 120 degrees, they are corresponding, and corresponding angles are equal, which means that angle 6 is 120 degrees. Number 2, it asks what is the measure of angle 4? So angle 4 and this top angle 120 are supplementary. Together they make the straight line. So supplementary angles equal 180. We subtract our 120, and that makes the measure of angle 4 60 degrees. The next one asks what is the relationship between angle 3 and 6? They're both inside the parallel lines, and they're on opposite sides of the transversal, which makes them alternate interior angles. And alternate interior angles are always congruent. So B and C are the right answers. Number 4, which pair of angles is a relationship of a linear pair? Linear means they have to be together, make a straight line, and they have to be congruent. Okay, so a little acute angle, a big obtuse angle, or two 90-degree angles would be linear. So 1 and 3 make the straight line together, so they're linear. 3 and 5 are not sharing a common side like these two are, so that's not linear. 4 and 3 together make this straight line, so they are linear. 1 and 8, nope, those are alternate exterior angles. And then 4 and 5 are alternate interior angles. So just A and C. Now we're going to solve for the value of X. So we already know that based on number 1, angle 6 is 120. And since these are vertical angles, that means they're equal. So we're going to set 23x plus 5 equal to 120. We want to solve for x, so we're going to subtract 5 from both sides. So then we bring down 23x is equal to 115. And then to solve for x, we're going to do the opposite of times 23, which is divided by 23. 23 divided by 23 is 1, and 1 times x is x, and 115 divided by 25 is, 115 divided by 23 is 5. So the value of x is 5. Moving on. Number 6, what is the value of x? So these two angles that they've given us information on are vertical, and vertical angles are equal. So I'm going to set them equal to each other because they are. So I'm going to say 6x is equal to 2x plus 92. Well, we got to get those x's on the same side of the equal sign. So I'm going to cancel out this positive one. So the way to get rid of a positive 2, we're going to subtract 2x from both sides. So that goes away. So 6x minus 2x is 4x equals 92. To get rid of 4 times x, we're going to do the opposite. We're going to divide by 4. And x is equal to 92 divided by 4, and we get 23. So the value of x is 23. Number 7, we have an exterior angle. So we know the sum of 2 interior angles is equal to that exterior angle. So we're going to add those 2 interior angles together. 6x plus 1 plus 7x has to equal 144. So now we combine like terms. So we get 13x plus 1 is 144. We want x by itself. So we're going to get rid of plus 1. So we're going to subtract 1 from both sides. We have 3x equals 143. And now we got to get rid of times 13. So we're going to divide both sides by 13. So x is equal to 143 divided by 13 is 11. So the value of x is 11. All right, number 8. Lewis looks in a mirror every morning to comb his hair. What time of transformation? So what is he seeing? He's seeing his reflection. When you look in a mirror, that's what you are. Your image is being reflected back to you. All right, number 9, describe the transformation. So I can see that this thing has been flipped over which axis? The y-axis. So reflection over y-axis. All right, now number 10 talks about figure 2 and number 11 talks about figure 1. So we're going to call the green one figure 2 and the blue one figure 1, okay? So figure 2 is rotated 90 degrees counterclockwise. So it's going to come down here. So the rule says when you rotate it 90 degrees counterclockwise, your y value comes to the front and changes signs, and your x value goes to the back. So this y that's at negative 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3 is going to be at negative 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, so that's going to be our new y. So w is at positive 1, positive 2. So w prime is going to be at negative 1, no, negative 2, positive 1. So there's w right there. All right, x is at negative 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, negative 2. So we're going to go positive 2, negative 5. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, I'm sorry, that's x. And then what are we missing? Z is at negative 2, negative 2. So that means we're going to go positive 2, 1, 2, negative 2. Right there. So our new figure has been rotated, turned down here. Okay, so I didn't write that down. So we got negative 2, 1. Y is at negative 1, 2, 3, negative 3, negative 5. X would be at 2, negative 5. And Z is at 2, negative 2. All right, so I'm going to get rid of that picture. So now we're going to reflect figure 1 across the x value. So when you go over the x value, the x doesn't change, but the y does, right? So this is much easier to do because you're going to always go toward the line of reflection. So let's start with W. We're going to go toward the line of reflection and then keep going the same number of spaces. So this is the x-axis. So we're going to go 1, 2 toward, and we're going to keep going 1, 2. So that's now at negative 1, negative 2. Y, we're going to go toward the x-axis. 1, 2, 3. Keep going. 1, 2, 3. So y prime is at 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. 4, negative 3. X is what we're doing. Yeah, we're doing the blue one. X, we're going toward it. 1, 2, 1, 2. So X is here. So that would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 5, 2. And then Z, 1, 2, 1, 2. There's Z. So it's going to be at 2, 2. So when we connect our dots, it's simply a reflection. That's it. All right. So let's look at the next one. Given Y prime is at negative 4, 3, where would Y double prime be if it's reflected across the Y and then translated right 3 down 2? So first, if we reflect it over the Y doesn't change. So our first change is going to be positive 4, 3. The X changed, so Y did not. That's a reflection over the Y. And then we're going to increase our X by 3. So 4 plus 3 is 7. And then we're going to decrease our Y by 2. So 3 minus 2 is 1. So that is the final answer right there. All right, a rectangle is translated using this rule. What does this mean? So on the y-axis, the x-axis controls right or left. So this would mean left 4. And then the left 4. And then the y controls up or down. So positive 2 would go up 2. So left 4, up 2. Left 4, up 2 would be D. A squirrel in a coordinate plane undergoes a squirrel. Oh my goodness, y'all. A square in a coordinate plane undergoes a dilation with a scale factor of 2. The perimeter of the original square factor is 46. What is the perimeter of the dilated square? Well, if we take this thing and we multiply each of the sides by 2, then how much bigger is the perimeter going to be? So I don't know, let's say this is 5 and this is 10. Well, the perimeter would be 10 plus 10 is 20 plus 5 plus 5. This would be 30. So then if we double the size and this was 10 and 10 and 20 and 20, our new perimeter is 60, right? So what happens? It doubles. So all we're going to do for perimeter is we're going to double 64. So 64 doubled is 128 inches for perimeter. All right, let's look at number 15, the vertex of a rectangle. So here is a coordinate plane. We have 8, 12, way up here somewhere, okay? So it's at 8, 12, and it's dilated about the origin to go to 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. So 2, 3. What are the new coordinates of the second vertex of the same rectangle located at 4, 8 under the same dilation? So what's the comparison of these numbers? 8 to 2, 12 decreased to 3. So what happened? You could say we divided by 4, right? Another way of saying we divided by 4 is we multiplied by 1/4. So 8 times a 4th is 2, 12 times a 4th is 3, or in other words, we're dividing by 2. So what if we divide 4 by 4 and 8 by 4? So the new coordinates would be 1, 2, 1, 2. All right, so then this is a sign for similar, and we know that corresponding angles are congruent for similar, and we also know that the order of the letters matter. That means that M is equal to K, R is equal to W, and P is equal to T. So if R is 45, that means W is equal to 45 degrees. Oh, I didn't even see this. Yeah, so it's just, I didn't even realize this was a multiple choice question. So just, find the letter that's in the same position in the second triangle. All righty. All right, number 17, this tells us we're going to translate this quadrilateral. We're not going right or left, but we're going up 4. So we're not moving H right or left, but we're going 1, 2, 3, 4. There's H prime. We're going 1, 2, 3, 4. There's I prime. We're going 1, 2, 3, 4. There's F prime. And 1, 2, 3, 4 is G prime. All right, number 18. We're going to translate to the right. This thing is moving down here clockwise. And the rule for clockwise is you take your original coordinates, the Y comes to the front and stays the same sign, and the X gets moved to the back and changes sign. So M is at -1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That means M prime is at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1. Here's M prime. It's just being laid down right there. So N was at 1, 2, 1. So we're going to go 1, 1, 2, N prime. So K is at 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. Uh-oh. I didn't change the sign of M, nor did I change the sign of N. They were supposed to come down here. And then L, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's supposed to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Negative 1, 5. 5 comes to the front. And 1, okay, so M was right. Yeah, it should be the same size. So I kind of messed that one up. I was trying to do it too quickly, guys. I should have started with my coordinates and did them one at a time. So don't make the same mistake I did. And I realized immediately it was going to be a different size. So that made me pause and go, okay, wait a minute, this one's not right. Okay, so be careful. All right, we're going to describe the sequence of transformations. That means 2. All right, so we can see that this thing has been rotated, right? So if we rotated 180 degrees, remember both of the signs change, both of the numbers change signs. So M went from 3, 2, and we know that P goes with Y, and M and X go together. So if M is at 3, 2, M is at 3, 2, and X is at 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, negative 3, negative 2. So it looks like it's only been rotated 180 degrees. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. So if it was only one transformation, this would be the answer, 180-degree rotation. But it says it since it says a sequence, that means we have to do at least 2 things to it. So even though that would be a good answer, like I said, if there was just one transformation. So that means that we have to think, okay, well, what's another way to get down here? If we flip this over the x-axis, that P is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's going to put P prime down here, right? So if we reflect this over the x-axis, it's going to put the triangle right here. Well, that's the first transformation, but how did it get over there? That means the second transformation is it moved to the left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So translate left. What did I just count to? 10? Yep, 10. So that's a combined a sequence of transformation. So that means that has to be the right answer. All right, I hope that made sense. All right, number 20, name the type of transformation performed on. So this was our original because there's no little apostrophe marks or prime marks. So the only way to make a figure bigger or smaller is dilation with scale factor of, well, D went from -4, 0 to -8, 0. So remember, this one is the original. So how did we get from this number to this number? You could say we divide by 2, but scale factor is always multiplication. So the same thing as multiplying by 2 is dividing by 1, or I should have said that backwards. The same thing as dividing by 2 is multiplying by 1/2. So the scale factor is 0.5 or 1/2. And then it says, use your understanding of similar figures to determine if the figures above are similar or not. Well, we know that D, the image is half of the original. So let's see if it happens every time. So C is at -4, 8. Well, half of -4 is -2, and half of 8 is 4, right? B is the same thing. We were at 4, 8. Here we're at 2, 4. And then we can also look at the side length. So this one is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And this is 1, 2, 3, 4. This is half. So I would say they are similar. Similar. Because the ratio of corresponding sides are equal. And that's a great answer. Okay, because this is 8 to 4. This is 8 to 4. These are slanted lines, but if I found out this ratio of corresponding sides, it would also be 2 to 1, 2 to 1, 2 to 1. All of them are 2 to 1. All right, I think we're almost done. We got a couple more. All right, so 21, we're going to rotate this triangle 180 degrees. So that means that we're going to change this order of the numbers. So we're going to go left 2, down 1. That means we're going to go right 2, up 1. Here, instead of going left 1, down 5, it means we're going to go right 1, up 5. Instead of going left 5, down 4, it means we're going to go right 5, up 4. All right, so A, B, C, these letters don't match, but let's say this was A, B, C. Since they didn't give us numbers that match, we'll have to make them up ourselves. So this is going to be A has to go with D. B has to go with E. And C has to go with F. So our new coordinates are, they want us to give the originals. So A is at, where the coordinates of the vertices. Yeah, the vertices are where they bend. So A goes from -5, -4, and then A prime is at +5, +4. B goes from -2, -1 to B prime is +2, +1. And then C was at -1, -5 to +1, +5, even though I didn't use the right letters. Laura is a new student in our class. Please write an explanation below to help Laura understand the steps you took to rotate the triangle. I would say, dear Laura, keep the numbers in the same order, just change the signs. That's what I would tell Laura. See, 5 stayed 5, 4 stayed in the same place, but every single sign changed. All right, number 23. So let's look at just this inside triangle. We know the sum of triangles is 180. Well, that doesn't help us, but we do know that corresponding angles are the same, and corresponding angles have to be on parallel lines. So if this is above the parallel line and to the right of the transversal, that means angle 4 is also 115 degrees. All right, angle 2, these are supplementary. So for angle 2, I'm simply subtracting 115 from 180, and I get 65. And then angle 6, okay, well, angle 2 is 65. Well, I know these are supplementary, so it doesn't ask for angle 1, but I know that angle 1 is 70 because 70 plus 110 is 180. And now I know that angle 7 has to be 180 minus 70 minus 65, 180 minus 70 minus 65 because it's a triangle. So if angle 7 is 45, 6 is vertical, so it's also 45 degrees. So that's those 3. All right, last one, you guys. So angle D, angle B, and angle C. So first of all, these are supplementary angles, right? So together that means these both equal 180. So the first thing I'm going to do is subtract 180 from, or 95 from 180. So I know letter D right here is 85 degrees. And I know that all three of these together equals 180. I also know that these two inside triangle angles have to equal 95 because it's an exterior angle. So I'm just going to do it that way. I'm going to put 25x, whoops, plus 3 plus 21x is equal to 95. So now I'm adding like terms. So I get 23x plus 3 equals 95. To solve for x, I'm going to subtract 3. So I get 23x equals 92. And when I divide both sides by 23, 92 divided by 23, I get 4. Okay. How do I solve for the angle? So B is 4 times 25. 4 times 25 is 100. And angle C, if x is 4, we're going to multiply 21 times 4 and then add 3 and we get 87. So how did I get the angles? I solved for x, solved for x, and then I plugged in the value of x, into both expressions. Okay. All right, you guys, I hope you did well. Your test is this week, so good luck on your test. If you have any questions on the study guide, just let me know and we can talk about what you were confused on. See you guys later.